thank you so much for coming. So we are Fukuoka City government from Japan. So I know, so all of them might not know so where Fukuoka and what we are. So we briefly introduction who we are. So Fukuoka is the western part of Japan, so it's very far from Tallinn. It might be about 500 miles away from each other. And then Fukuoka is the future of the heart of Eastern Asia. And then our strong point is very close to the mega city such as China, Shanghai, and Seoul, and so forth. And this is the domestic version of Fukuoka. And then Tokyo is very famous, so where it is. And then, but on the other hand, Fukuoka is very less popular among the foreign entrepreneurs, tourists. So the western side of Japan. And of course, Fukuoka is a very historical site and with rich culture or nature and very compact city. So that's why foreign media evaluate Fukuoka City as a livable city in Japan. Yeah. Regarding the startup scheme, support scheme, we have some various system from individual to early stage startup. For example, startup cafe is open for everyone. Depends on the nationality of the genders and age. So please feel free to ask the Starbucks cafe when you visit Fukuoka. And Fukuoka Growth Next is a kind of incubation facility for early stage startup or seed stage startup to push their growth dramatically. And then this is a kind of the special topic for Latitude as a global startup. We support strongly international entrepreneurs in terms of obtaining visa, or opening bank account, or finding the potential business matching partners, and so forth. So I'm gonna take the baton to the good business matching partner, Mumu. Please on the stage. So stage is all yours, please.
Good morning. So my name is Mumu from the Fukuoka City Global Success Center, and very welcome to this event. And old friend Peter Westerback, yeah, nice to see you again. Okay, I'm very happy to see you every time when I come back to Estonia. So then I will explain what we are doing that. Okay, so that our organization run by the Fukuoka City, financed by the Fukuoka City, so that we will not charge you. Very important point. Okay. This is our team. Actually, we had a new team and grade up, and we speak English, and also eventually speak the Chinese, Spanish. My colleagues speak the Korean. I think more than half the world, so we can cover it. So our objective to bring the foreign startup to the Fukuoka City. Okay, so before you come to the Fukuoka City, so that we can take care of the very special visa. It's called the startup visa. I will explain later in the detail. If your company is ready to come to Japan yet, we still support you. We will find a sort of possible partner in Japan. Because if you have the partner in Japan, there is more probability that you will come to Japan. After you come to Japan, we do everything. Okay, I said we are very good at grand operations. If there are 100 doors, we open the 100 doors to check what we need to do. That's the main difference between the Fukuoka City and the rest of the city. So this is the advantage of Fukuoka City. I think the people are a little bit worried about the earthquake. Fukuoka is relatively safe. And also the quality of life. Fukuoka is like Estonia. It's a small city, compact city with a lot of friends. Yeah, this is a big advantage for the startup company. And also the startup ecosystem. Fukuoka is one of the most active startup cities. We are running this startup supporting for 10 years. Proof of concept. Fukuoka City is very keen to run the proof of concept. So then, okay, business matching. I will explain a couple examples. Desk me from the Italy, with the big hat, and that company has not come to Japan yet, but we are running the two POC. One is a co-working spaces in the Fukuoka City Central Station. Another one is next to the Haneda Airport, Tokyo. So, and this is the picture of the opening party of the co-working space at the Hakata sort of the Fukuoka Central Station. And they are very happy to have a collaboration with the foreign startup from the beginning. Silent. I think you can see the silent, yeah, in the booth, right? So the company has not come to Japan yet, but they already have a partner in Japan, one of the biggest office manufacturer company. The idea is that during the COVID-19 period, of course, the Japanese office manufacturing company had a similar product, but our guess is that the production is not enough. Bingo. The company was talking to some Chinese company, price is okay, quality design are not okay. They are very happy to talk to the silent, and they import the sample, and they sign the NDA and talking that sort of business relationship. And the fiber core from Germany, and they're making the sort of the material for the EV car. The original is the sort of powder. And this is really the B2B product, but among our network, we found one company. Okay? The company really showed the great interest. They imported the sample, and now they are working for the testing in Japan. MDAC comes from Singapore. Actually, we did a business matching between the Singaporean company and the Israeli company. So we are in the Fukuoka, but we did this kind of sort of cross matching as well. Because whatever happened, you can talk to the Fukuoka. We want to create this kind of reputations. And facility, we had booths on the second floor, come from France, and they are providing a service for the eye handicapped people. Fukuoka City already introduced this product because of that, and they are expanding business in Japan for the many local government. Startup visa. And if you run the business in Japan, and you have to inject the capital in corporate company, and also they have an office. But by using this startup visa, you don't have to do that. So simply speaking, you will have a 6 months moratorium period. 6 months is not a long time, but together with our support, all the company are successfully extended the startup visa to the business manager visa. And these are some examples. The company come to the Fukuoka. Smarty come from China. They have a voice recognition system. If I talk to this light, switch on, switch off. Without Wi-Fi, with the Bluetooth, it reacts. And Steampunk Digital come from Canada, and they have the sort of air services. The services introduced at Fukuoka City Museum, particularly in the COVID-19 period. And Tamako Blockchain Labs, they are providing sort of the digital art in the NFT. And but they are also providing a marketing platform. And that is the strength of these companies. So this is our slogan: start easy, start fast. Mean that so they come to Fukuoka first. Okay, that's the message. Okay. So after you come to Fukuoka, let's say 5 years later, maybe you already expanded businesses, you might be able to move to Tokyo. But first, Fukuoka. That's the message. Okay? So they just remember the Mumu, okay? Talk to the Mumu. And there's something will happen differently. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Momo, and thank you, Yusuke. Next up, we're gonna hear from 4 startups who are related somehow with Fukuoka City. Are they from there, or they're doing business over there? And first up, On the stage will be Tom Brook from Cuarte. Kill it, man.
Hi, I'm Tom Brook, founder and CEO of Curate. It's a new category of marketing intelligence software that literally tells you what content you need to create in order to grow your business. Now, we call this technology generative intelligence. Now, marketing has a lot of data. And in isolation, we can understand marketing performance. But the problem is a lack of a big picture. And this results in best guess strategic decisions. Now, there's a famous quote, and it goes, half my marketing spend is wasted. The trouble is, I don't know which half. And that's as true today as it's always been, despite all the data that we're now collecting. And this has created the problem that we call the $1 trillion strategy gap, because over $1 trillion a year is wasted simply because marketing lacked the clarity as to what content is really driving the revenue. Now, the content economy, whether this is human-created content or whether it's Gen AI-created content, it needs a complete, quantifiable system to power it. Curate turns data into actionable insight, recommendations, and predictions. And from our customer's perspective, it just works like magic. It's very instant and it's very easy to get set up, and it offers them instant access to insights themselves without having to rely on data analysts. Curate makes resonance visible. It gives companies complete control over the impact that marketing has. You could also see that this is the intelligence behind the prompt, enabling a whole new ecosystem of Gen AI tools. Curate is a fully enriched system of intelligence. We think that Curate will do for marketing what the CRM did for sales 20 years ago. Now, I'm a second-time founder, and I love building the product. My co-founder, Martin, now he's a master of outreach, and he loves selling product. And in January this year, we started early access on our platform. And already we have 250K of annual recurring revenue in either closed or fully committed revenue. And we're closing our first round next week. And we've still got a little bit of room left for some small angel investments. If you'd like to learn more about Curate, you can visit us on the 3rd floor at the Fukuoka City booth. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think you can give the mic to Eve, because next up will be Eve Cornu from Facility.
Thank you. So, we have 3 minutes to talk about web inclusion. What is web inclusion? If we talk about web inclusion, it simply means that the modern tools have excluded people. We have created a new type of exclusion, which is e-exclusion. You might think we're talking about a minority of people, but according to the World Health Organization, it's 1/4 of the world population that faces difficulties to access online content because they cannot read it, understand it, or interact with it properly, and this is due to age, disease, or disability. Few examples. People are colorblind. How do you want them to interact with images? That's 8% of the world population. Some people are dyslexic. Their brain plays with the letters. It looks like the letters are dancing. They confuse the U and the N, the P and the B, etc. Depending on the language, it's 5 to 10% of the population, and that's mostly with young children. Another example, Parkinson's disease. Your hand is shaking. You cannot control the movements of your hand. How do you want to click on a very precise zone? This is over 3 million people worldwide, etc., etc., etc. So I am concerned, you are concerned, because at some point in your life, you might be facing this issue that you have a browsing difficulty. So how to improve this? Facility has developed a solution that personalizes the user experience depending on the user's needs. So basically, each user will face something on his screen that fits his personal needs, and that without touching the code of the original website or internet. So this is an example on a website, for instance. This is the LVMH website, and they use our solution. When the user will click on accessibility, it will open our interface. And from there, you will be able to decide the settings you need. For instance, all these letters are too small for you. You have a visual impairment. You just click here, and instantly the website is reconstructed with a bigger font so that you regain autonomy in your reading. Another example, for instance, if you have trouble with these small click zones up there and your hand is shaking, you have Parkinson's disease, what we do in this case is that we will enlarge all the click zones, separate them one from the other, make a blue line around it so that it will be easier for you to understand and move around. If you don't find what you need on this long list, for instance, you will be able to personalize it even further. All the settings can be personalized. If that's the case, if you are dyslexic, for instance, you cannot understand this font. A user with dyslexia will understand 25% of the content at the first read. So the first thing we do is change the font of the whole website. Then the dyslexic person has difficulties to see the blanks between the words, so we separate them. And then you can say, for instance, I confuse the U and the N, and it's different from one person to the others, and we add little patches of color on the U's and the N's, so that your brain doesn't wonder any longer, is it U or N, but is it pink or green? Basically, it takes all of 10 minutes to install. We have 2.5 million users already worldwide. And you can get more information by contacting me or seeing us upstairs on the Fukuoka City booth. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You made me think or understand about things that I didn't know that exist, basically. But next up will be Vitaly Stockman from Desk.me. Stage is yours.
Thank you. So I'm Vitaly Stockman, CEO of Desk.me. I'm going to talk about what's happening in the office industry. As you may have heard that now there are those changes in office that people are not necessarily need to be in the office every day. It has been happening already way before the recent COVID epidemic, but it has accelerated this trend much further. Nowadays, the expectation is that companies have some kind of remote work policy. It's actually a requirement even to attract good talent. Some people leave companies if you are not allowing people to work remotely, because it just becomes such an important part of the corporate culture. So what happens if you have the remote policy? You get half-empty offices, and offices are a very expensive resource. So, and it's not nice to work in an office which has a very few people, psychologically, not a nice working atmosphere. And second, it's also expensive because, again, offices are very expensive, especially nice ones. So what's the solution? Solution is switch to desk sharing. Again, there's nothing new about this concept. It just become much more widespread nowadays. And that's why we are here, we're Desk.me. Imagine this is your office. You can see in real time how many desks are free for any given day and who is sitting where. So it's both a booking solution and also a communication solution, which lets you know which of your colleagues is coming to the office and when. This is another very important part because it can help you decide, okay, when you need to be. Sometimes colleagues come in waves, like they see, okay, who else is coming, and then I also want to come. Okay, I want to keep it very short because we're limited in time. I will not go through all slides, but so main thing is, doesn't click. Okay, I can just stay on this slide. But main thing is that it visualizes your office. You see it in, now it's working. So you see it in real time, and it's real your office. We visualize your office, and basically all it takes is just a few seconds per day. Like when you open your app, you open this, you select the desk you want to book, you book it, and you close it, and then you go back to your other business. So it's meant to be super simple. Yeah, and then I can just go through a few other things. So we also have some IoT components that we have developed to facilitate this experience even further. So it could be like an IoT indicator device that you've seen in the other presentation earlier that can tell you if the desk is booked or not for today, even without opening the app. And then this is how it could look like with, with employee faces. So it's very informative. With just a half a second look, you can see immediately the situation in the office. Okay, there's some analytics. Yeah, this is about a device that we have developed. And then also we have meeting room screens, which are also part of the information system that gives you information about which rooms are available, because it's also part of this environment. And in fact, today it has become so that meeting rooms are much more used than they were before. Okay, I think, does it mean we are running out of time, right? Yeah, okay. So I will be around in the event, happy to talk if for somebody's interesting topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. For the last one from Fukuoka, we will have a video appearance by Unison Systems. So let's check it out.
Hello, Impossible. At Unison Systems, nothing is impossible. We specialize in solving seemingly impossible problems in the video industry, and with a 30-year history of pushing boundaries. Our mission is to fulfill the wishes of everyone involved in video production. Our leading product, the Unison Video Platform UVP, is a treasure trove of video technology that offers various toolkits essential for video production and digital marketing. These toolkits can be combined to create customized workflows that cater to the specific requirements of our diverse customers, including creators, online streamers, medical sites, and business supervisors. For instance,
our UVP for Creators tool facilitates a unique way of producing videos that can be executed by anyone from anywhere. This feature streamlines content creation by providing centralized management, resulting in rapid and high-quality content production.
Our UVP for Medical Solutions supports instantaneous video sharing, a key requirement for telemedicine. This functionality promotes equitable access to medical care and education for all.
Our cutting-edge technologies, such as the high-speed file transfer, Storm and JoinView, a video management solution that shares and analyzes video, support UVP's core functionalities. Hello Impossible empowers video production, paving the way for a remarkable journey that is full of opportunities for creators and businesspersons alike.
That was a quick one. And to kind of wrap up what we have seen on Fukuoka today, I would like to recap this session with a short discussion round. So I would please welcome back on stage Tom, I, Vitaly, and Momo. We'll have a short discussion about Fukuoka. Yeah, first, how was the stage show? Kind of all good?
Yeah, great. Helpful to have this screen here.
The screen helps?
Yeah.
Awesome, but I guess it's easy to just jump right into it. I have a couple of questions prepared. I will start all in all, what factors in Fukuoka allow entrepreneurs from overseas to be active in the system over there?
Yeah. So, okay, first of all, maybe if I can comment, is okay? So, Fukuoka, even though it's not one of the, not the biggest city in Japan, however, it actually ranks second after Tokyo in terms of startup community in some aspects. And in big thanks to the mayor of Fukuoka, who is very, very startup friendly, and he's doing a lot of activities to help. He really understands that it's nowadays all about attracting talent to the city. So it's cities competing. It's not so much countries competing. It's cities competing. Who brings them? And it's very clear. It's like Fukuoka competing with like Shenzhen or Seoul and so on. So therefore they have made a lot of efforts to make like easier startup visa processing. They've been actually like helping make that happen, and they have some resources available. That's why I ended up visiting Fukuoka already twice. Before COVID, after COVID, and I will be there again. So basically, it's thanks to all these resources that are available, and they understand that it's always it's a big challenge to come to Japan, of course, especially from some faraway place, which most of the time it is. And they understand that there's different challenges, and you need that assistance. You need there's a language barrier, there's culture barrier, and they basically try to help you with all of that. Even in some cases, I've been helped by some employees of Fukuoka City joining me on a meetings with customers to translate. But it's not just about translator; it's about this, getting your door open as well.
Mm-hmm. Really, really good answers. Does somebody want to elaborate on the topic more?
Yeah, I want to talk about the history of the Fukuoka city. Okay, Japan consists of 4 main islands. Fukuoka is the sort of capital of the South Island. Okay, and as you can imagine, most of the company has a headquarters in Tokyo. So they have the branch in Fukuoka, but it is a branch, not headquarters. That's why Fukuoka is famous as a branch economy, we call that. Okay. So the mayor, they had an idea. We need our own company. We need our own industry. That's why the Fukuoka city started to promote to bring the foreign startup to the Fukuoka city.
Okay. Are there any additional benefits that kind of help additionally what we already talked, but something else comes on the mind?
Yeah, well, I would add probably arguably the most important thing, which is quality of life, and that's the reason I live in Fukuoka. And I don't know, just a show of hands, has anyone ever been to Japan before? Yeah, quite a few. Then you probably don't need me to explain that there is this the quality in service, for example, and you're just continually coming into contact. Being inspired. It's a very comfortable place to live. For me, that equates to mind space and allows me to become a better version of Tom in Japan than I would be if I stayed home in the UK. And I think that can't be underestimated, really. It's a very comfortable and cool place to live.
Yeah, I think if you talk about quality of life, and among the big city, only Fukuoka has a beach. 10 minutes to the beach. I think this is the biggest advantage for the Fukuoka.
Very good. Yves, would you also?
Definitely. As you were mentioning, coming to Japan is always difficult for a European company. We are a French-based company, and we already had a branch in Tokyo. But Fukuoka is twin city with our region and with Bordeaux city, and that's how we got in touch with this amazing city, because we've been able to do there things that we have never been able to do in France, for instance. Just imagine doing a proof of concept with a French public authority. It's just impossible. We've done it in Fukuoka. It's taken no time, and they are really open to trying things. As you've seen before, we work, for instance, for dyslexic people. It's okay to work for dyslexic people with a European alphabet, be it the Roman, the Greek, or the Russian alphabet. But when you come to ideograms, you have to do something different. And we have developed a font with the University of Tokyo, which we have tested on the Fukuoka City website as a proof of concept. So this kind of things is possible there because you face people that are really open to help you, and they have time for you, and they can make your life so much easier.
Really nice. Great to hear it. I have a question to Momo about a similar jumping next, all in all, the kind of business development and welcoming and doing those public-private connectivity things. Can you elaborate on that more or how have you reached that position that is so great that everybody's speaking about?
And actually, the Fukuoka city has 1.6 million populations. Estonia has 1.3 million population. The dimension, and Estonia is more than bigger than the Kyushu island where we're located. Okay, so in terms of network, our network in Fukuoka is quite limited. Yeah? That is one reason why we did the business matching, even with the Tokyo company. What's the reason? Because when you create a source stream, whatever you need, contact Fukuoka City. Yeah? This is how we are sort of doing the sort of leverage to the expansion of a network. So because I think maybe even though you cannot imagine how the Fukuoka City, just imagine the Estonia. Yeah, it's simple, very similar, because it's small city, okay, small network, okay, all the friends. That's how the Estonia is developing, as the Fukuoka is developing.
Really great. So it's like a more back to Estonia over there.
Yep.
Could I just add something? Actually, it's like it says that startup Fukuoka, and a lot of people kind of take that to mean that the emphasis is actually on the startups, but actually, what the city is actually run like a startup, and I think that's what Mumu was just saying there. In that they are so responsive and open to things. Now, I'm from the UK, and if you look at the history of the UK over the last several hundred years, there's been all of these peaks. Everyone thinks of London as a it's been cooked several times, whereas with this startup mentality, Fukuoka has not yet been fully established on the world stage. And I think this is interesting because we actually have an opportunity to define the city. And resting on all of these great kind of principles of Japanese culture, but actually for this modern age. And I think this is like a real kind of key difference, I think, is this startup mentality runs right through to the government, and they can do anything that they want. I mean, it's kind of quite an interesting opportunity to enter such a huge economy, because like Mumu said, even Fukuoka City's economy is the same as Holland's economy, for example. Anyway.
And speaking about the economy, so Japan overall, again, why it's interesting. It's like third biggest market in the world, right, after US and China. So it's a huge market, which is very good for whatever solution you want to do. And when you consider coming to Japan, of course, Tokyo comes up as like number one, biggest city. But Tokyo, of course, is great, but it's also expensive, and it's like so big that you're like sort of very small fish in a big sea. But in Fukuoka, you can be big in Japan from beginning. You can be bigger at least. So from beginning, because of all the support, while the market is still the same, the resources are there. It's actually the cost of living, cost of doing business is cheaper, definitely in Fukuoka than in, for example, Tokyo. So it has a lot of advantages while you get the same access to and maybe even more, like some things simplified for you. Yeah.
Really nice. Eve, would you like to add something, or
just as well? Yeah. When it comes to hiring people, it's much easier in a city like Fukuoka, as in Tokyo, where wages are really high, and people tend to change companies like every day. So yeah,
really great.
Go to Fukuoka.
I think it's a great place where to end. We got really good thoughts with us, and we all, I guess, learned way more about Fukuoka also. So I would like to thank everybody on the stage and the whole set that we had.
Thank you.
Thank you.